Good morning sa lahat. Tara, basa na tayo ng ating libro guys. The Word in Other Words, Bible Diary 2023. Nandito na tayo sa page 18, January Wednesday. Today is 28 February 2025. Pakisabayan ako ng basa guys, yung mga kasabayan kong bumili nito last year, yung mga ka-OFW ko dito sa Hong Kong, doon sa St. Joseph Church. I think mayroon din kayong kopya nito. So, pakisabayan na lang ako ng basa. 18 January, Wednesday, second week in ordinary time, that green, PS is 2. The word, first reading, Hebrew chapter 7, verse 1 to verse 3, verse 15 to verse 17. This Melchizedek came of Salem and priest of God Most High. Met Abraham as he returned from his defeat of the kings and blessed him. And Abraham apportioned to him a tenth of everything. His name first means righteous king, and he was also king of Salem, that is king of peace. Without father, mother, or ancestry, without beginning of days or end of life, thus made to resemble the Son of God, he remains a priest forever. It is even more obvious if another priest is raised up after the likeness of Melchizedek, who has become so, not by a law expressed in a commandment concerning physical descent, but by the power of a life that cannot be destroyed. For it is testified, you are a priest forever according to the order of Melchizedek. Gospel reading, Mark chapter 3, verse 1 to verse 6. Again Jesus entered the synagogue. There was a man there who had a withered hand. They watched him closely to see if he would cure him and on the Sabbath, so that they might accuse him. He said to the man with the withered hand, "Come up here before us." Then he said to them, "It is lawful to do good on the Sabbath rather than to do evil, to save life rather than to destroy it. But they remained silent, looking around at them with anger and grief at their hardness of heart. He said to the man, "Stretch out your hand." He stretched it out, and his hand was restored. The Pharisees went out and immediately took counsel with the Herodians against him, to put him to death. In other words, by Father Vicente de Castro, Jr., SVD-Divine Word College of Calapan. When we asked for the hand of a person in the typical act of "Mano po, your hand please," we accompany these words with two gestures, slightly bending ourselves as a sign of submission to a higher authority, and putting their hand on our forehead as a sign of trust. It's like saying, "I know you will not use your hand to harm me." When the man with the withered hand stretched out his arm, as Jesus told him, the man's hand was restored, an act even more powerful but similar to stretching out the hand. Jesus' act of stretching his hand on the cross is an expression of his submission to the Father's will, and the antithesis to the violence of the hands of his tormentors. The man's hand in the gospel was restored because he also submitted himself to Jesus' authority. It wouldn't be too far-fetched to think that after this encounter with Jesus, he may have continued to follow him on his journeys. We are sometimes warned to do stretch our resources thin, or stretch our concerns farther than we can handle. Yes, stretching our hand or arm either to persons or to God might well be the restoration that we constantly need to experience. 19 January, Thursday, second week in ordinary time, that green, PS is 2. The word, first reading, Hebrews chapter 7, verse 25, chapter 8, and chapter 8, verse 6. Lumaktaw siya ng verses, tumiretso siya sa chapter 8. verse 6. Therefore, he is always able to save those who approach God through him, since he lives forever to make intercession for them. It was fitting that we should have such a high priest, holy, innocent, undefiled, separated from sinners, higher than the heavens. He has no need, as did the high priests, to offer sacrifice day after day, first for his own sins and then for those of the people. He did that once for all when he offered himself, for the law appoints men subject to weakness to be high priest. But the word of the oath, which was taken after the law, appoints a son who has been made perfect forever. The main point of what has been said is this: we have such a high priest who has taken his seat at the right hand of the throne of the majesty in heaven, a minister of the sanctuary and of the true tabernacle that the Lord not man set up. Now every high priest is appointed to offer gifts and sacrifices, thus the necessity for this one also to have something to offer. If then he were on earth, he would not be a priest, since there are those who offer gifts according to the law. Pakisabayan na ako guys, medyo nagra-rumble na yung pagbasa ko. They worship in a copy and shadow of the heavenly sanctuary, as Moses was warned when he was about to erect the tabernacle. For he says, "See that you make everything according to the pattern shown you on the mountain." Now he has obtained so much more excellent a ministry, as he is mediator of a better covenant enacted on better promises. Guys, kung wala kayong libro na ganito, pwede nyo naman akong sundan sa Bible. Kasi ano rin naman to, nakasulat rin naman sa Bible. Yun nga lang, laktaw-laktaw. Hindi siya dire-diretso sa nakasulat sa Bible, kundi laktaw-laktaw yung mga verses. Pero sundan nyo na lang ako kasi binabanggit ko naman kung anong verses siya. Kung wala kayong kopya na ganito, kasi parang inano lang nito, pinuod lang nila yung parang Holy Mass everyday. Gospel reading, Mark chapter 3 verse 7 to verse 12. Jesus withdrew toward the sea with his disciples. Gospel reading, Mark chapter 3 verse 7 to verse 12. Jesus withdrew toward the sea with his disciples. Katulad nito guys, sabayan nyo ako, basahin nyo rin yung Mark chapter 3 verse 7 to verse 12. Jesus withdrew toward the sea with his disciples. A large number of people followed from Galilee and from Judea. Hearing what he was doing, a large number of people came to him, also from Jerusalem, from Idumea, from beyond the Jordan, and from the neighborhood of Tyre and Sidon. He told his disciples to have a boat ready for him because of the crowd, so that they would not crush him. He had cured many, and as a result, those who had diseases were pressing upon him to touch him. And whenever unclean spirits saw him, they would fall down before him and shout, "You are the Son of God." He warned them sternly not to make him known. In other words, by Father Ferdy Bajau SBD, the St. Jude Catholic School, Manila. Yung CATH period guys is, alam ko Catholic yan. St. Jude Catholic School, Manila. Taal volcano erupted, all roads led to Batangas. Parang ito na yung homily niya, yung in other words. Kasi pare na yung nag-i-interpret. Taal volcano erupted, all roads led to Batangas. Kasi guys, di ba pagka umatin tayo ng Holy Mass, ganyan siya. Yung pagkataos ng first reading, second reading, gospel reading, tapos ano na yun ng pare, di ba? So, ito na yun, in other words. By Ferdy Bajau, by Father Ferdi Badjao SBD St. Jude Catholic School, Manila. Taal volcano erupted, all roads lead to Batangas. Massive relief operations happened amid the sulfuric stains and irritation courtesy of the volcanic ash. I led a team of commissionaries. We were instructed to proceed to St. Francis de Sales Seminary in Lipa as the base camp. There was a truly recognizable and efficient system of doing things. A team of seminarians and youth volunteers immediately met us and documented every item and every box we brought. Then the Lipa team brought us to the main hall where the orientation to the next tasks ahead was given. After that, we were deployed to various places to bring aid to the people. I was impressed by the festive atmosphere reminiscent of youth camps and festivals. It made helping a cheerful activity. Every room was abuzz with work until I caught sight of the seminary chapel. It was special because the prayer core was at the center of the apostolates and ministries that went on. There was an ongoing adoration of the Blessed Sacrament leading to the celebration of the most holy sacrifice of the Mass. There was this recognition of someone in our midst. It was not just about work and labor but also about grace and faithfulness. Above all, the conviction to recognize Jesus in all things was the central message. Bukas na itong 20 January Friday. Bye everyone. God bless.